Part 2. Acid staining and sealing overlay. Applying acid stain. Safety first. Required acid staining safety equipment. Acid stain should always be handled with care and applied with the appropriate safety equipment. Goggles will protect the eyes from acid stain overspray. Prevent contact with the stain by wearing latex gloves. Acid stains, especially the darker colors, can have a strong odor. A dust mask will reduce the exposure to fumes. Visit the concrete acid stain page of our website for more information on the do-it-yourself kits, which include all the safety equipment needed to apply a concrete acid stain. Getting started. Tape off baseboards and walls with either plastic or butcher paper. Be careful not to apply the tape directly to the floor. The tape adhesive bonds with the surface and can rip up both stain and sealer when removed. Consider using a straight piece of cardboard as a spray shield to create crisp lines or protect a wall. Vance has selected Direct Colors Coffee Brown for this acid stain project. Remember to use an all-plastic pump-up sprayer for the application. Saturate the surface with the first coat of stain. You should immediately see a reaction with the concrete. A fizzing action should be apparent if the stain is reacting properly. Before beginning any job, drop a small amount of stain from a plastic spoon or eyedropper onto the concrete floor to determine if the stain will react. Be careful not to walk on wet, active stain while applying. Consider wearing Direct Colors acid stain resistant spike shoes over street shoes during the application, especially if spraying on more than one color of stain. After allowing the first coat of stain to dry for an hour, Vance is diluting the coffee brown stain 1 part stain to 1 part water for the second coat. He's applying darker accents on top of his lighter base coat to enhance the color variation on the surface. Each of our acid stain colors can be cut with water to produce different colors and shades. Please note that if the water content is too high, the chemical reaction between the acid and the concrete will be significantly reduced and may not be strong enough to produce the desired color. We do not recommend cutting our stains by more than 4 parts water to 1 part acid stain. Some colors vary more than others when increasing the water content, and many factors such as age of concrete, cement content, and weathering determine how dark the final stain color will be. No two finished floors are the same, as acid staining is an artistic process. For a veined look on the surface, spray your secondary or veining color onto the floor first. While still wet, feather the primary color into and around the secondary color, allowing it to flow together at the edges. Be careful not to cover your secondary color completely, especially if it is a lighter shade. As the acid stain dries and processes, an alkali and minerals residue will form on the surface of the concrete. This is normal and is part of the chemical reaction. Each stain has different activation times to fully color the concrete, generally between 2 and 8 hours. Today's color, coffee brown, has an activation time of 3 to 4 hours. The stains can be left on longer if a darker color is desired. Neutralize the surface with a baking soda and water solution at a ratio of 1 to 2 tablespoons of soda per gallon of water. Thoroughly saturate the surface using a bucket and/or a sprayer and scrub with a nylon brush where needed. A wet, dry shop vacuum can be used to remove the water and residue. For applications including DCI lithium hardener sealer, consider repeating this step to be absolutely certain the surface has been properly neutralized before proceeding. Clean the surface carefully until all debris and excess stain are removed from the floor and the rinse water is completely free of color. This may take several washes. For stubborn residue or porous surfaces, use a solution of Dawn dishwashing soap or an organic degreaser such as Simple Green to aid in removal. Leave the floor to dry for at least 12 to 24 hours depending on weather conditions. After the surface is completely dry, the floor should be ready to seal. Summer tip. Hot, dry conditions can cause acid stain to prematurely dry before properly reacting with the concrete. For best results, slightly dampen the surface before applying acid stain to outdoor concrete. Sealers should not be applied to concrete over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. For outdoor projects, apply sealers either late in the evening or early in the morning when the concrete temperatures are at their lowest. Winter tip. Water-based sealers and waxes should not be applied to concrete with a surface temperature of less than 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember to keep rooms warm, but turn off central, radiant, or other heat sources before applying sealers and waxes to avoid flash drying during application. Applying concrete sealer. Direct Colors offers a full range of solvent and water-based sealers suitable for any concrete project. Vance has selected the solvent-based AC 1315 high gloss sealer for this application. The method used to apply the sealer depends on the type of surface and the variety of sealer used. Vance is using an 18-inch nap roller to apply the sealer. Rollers are suitable for textured or stamped concrete, but a pad coat trim pad or floor coater applicator is preferred for smooth surfaces. For best sealer application results, pour the sealer into a paint tray first and use the grid to remove excess sealer from the applicator. Apply in thin coats with slow, even strokes. Sealer bubbles, should they occur, can be removed with a hairdryer set to cool or a clean leaf blower set to low speed. DCI sprayable satin finish sealer is by far our most popular sealer and can be used for both indoor and outdoor applications. However, we recommend applying a water-based sealer in occupied homes or offices and in basements. Always use caution in applying solvent-based sealers, especially during indoor applications. Wear a mask while applying the sealer and make certain the room is well ventilated to the outside. Generally, thinner coats produce a stronger, more durable sealer finish. Applying a thick coat will result in an inconsistent appearance with tacky areas that may not set up correctly. Solvent-based sealers require at least 4 to 6 hours drying time, while water-based sealers should be given a minimum of 24 hours to harden between coats. If you live in a humid climate or the weather conditions are damp and overcast, give the surface additional time to dry. Do not walk on wet sealer, as it will leave permanent impressions on the floor. Apply at least 2 coats of acrylic sealer to outdoor concrete for increased durability. Acrylic sealers should be reapplied to outdoor concrete every 2 to 3 years, depending on traffic and weathering. DCI lithium hardener sealer is applied once and should not require reapplication.